Hello and welcome to my channel. Before we get started, I just want to recommend that you work with the yarn and hook by laying it flat on the table, unlike holding it in the air as I am doing, just until you get the hang of it. So I just want to make this abundantly clear that this is not the typical crochet tutorial. What you're witnessing me speed through here is the methods that I learned when I first started out and practiced for the first few months of crocheting before I actually did it the quote-unquote correct way. And I'm hoping that this will just make it easier for everyone else. For those who don't know how to hold a crochet hook, who don't know how to move yarn, etc., etc. Let's just say you're coming into this knowing absolutely nothing except you want to learn how to crochet. And that's the kind of tutorial I wanted to make. And I don't know if you're going to find any other crochet tutorial out there with this kind of similar method, but I do know that it was so easy that even little children managed to work with it. So now, having said that, let's just get straight into it. So the first thing we're going to learn how to make is the Slipknot, and I'm going to be teaching you how to make it by laying it flat on the table rather than a typical two-finger method. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and make a loop as shown here. You're going to pick that loop up by the middle and just turn it forward like that. Let me pull it back a little bit so you can see better. And your crochet hook is going to go through the center of this loop. Take the long end of your yarn and wrap it around your hook like so. Pick up your circle and pull it over your hook like so. And your loop should look like this. Now get ready. Hold the short end of your yarn still, and meanwhile grab the long end, and you're going to be giving it a good tug here. Pull it all the way up until there's just a little gap left on the hook. Praise Jesus! And now you have your Slipknot. Now let's move on to the chains. Now, as I said in the beginning of this video, this tutorial is for people who do not know how to hold crochet hooks or use the typical methods already. You're going to start by wrapping your yarn around your hook. Then you're going to grab this loop over here on your hook, and gently pulling it up, you're going to pull it right over your hook like so. Tighten by tugging on the long end of your yarn, and repeat as so. Pinch and pull over. It's all repetition. Wrap around the hook, pinch, and pull over the hook. Repeat as many times as you want. Working chains is a good way to help you get the feel of crochet before actually having to crochet, so it comes highly recommended. Now, I understand that this method creates very loose tension, and that could be frustrating for more experienced crocheters. But this tutorial is not for experienced crocheters, and so right now we don't care about tension. We just care about learning how to crochet in the first place. Improving our tension comes later. Let's not be crochet snobs. And so here are your chains. Make as many as you want, build your confidence along the way, and just enjoy the process. Take as long as you want, take your time. These are just our first steps, our baby steps, and I can't wait to see how you do. For this next part of the tutorial, we're going to be working on our single crochet, and we will be working in the second chain from the hook. And don't forget to work laying flat down on the table, as this is going to be easiest for you. So we don't yarn over this time. We are simply going to go straight into the second chain. And as you can see, it looks like there's 2 loops on the hook. We're gonna yarn over. That's right. Take your yarn, wrap it right over your hook. I want you to grab and pinch these 2 loops that you see right here. There's the first one. And we're going to pull it right over the hook. Now you should end up with 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over. Grab and pinch those 2 loops and just pull them right over your hook. And that's your first single crochet. And now we're going to go right into the next chain right here where I'm pointing my finger. Stick it right in there. Now it looks like we have 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over your hook, just like that. Grab the first loop right here where I'm pointing my finger. Pinch and pull that right over your hook. Alrighty, now we have 2 loops on our hook. Yarn over. Grab your 2 loops right here, pinch, and we're going to pull and drag it right over the hook again. And now we will repeat the steps into the next chain. Get a good look at it there. Going in. Looks like we got 2 loops on the hook right here. Wrap your yarn over the hook. I want you to grab that first loop, pull it over your hook. Now you're left with 2 loops on your hook. Remember, working toward the table. Make it easy for yourself. Yarn over. Pinch your 2 loops. Pull it right over the hook. You should have 1 loop remaining on your hook. Repeat the steps for the following chains. Hook goes in the chain. Yarn over. Pinch both loops, drag, and pull the loops over your hook. And you should have one loop remaining on the hook. If it's still a little hard to understand, I encourage you to rewind the video or slow it down as needed, as many times as you need. Remember to take your time and enjoy the process. Praise Jesus. This stitch is probably one of the most common stitches that you will find when working in crochet. It's especially crucial if you want to learn how to make what is referred to as amigurumi, or rather stuffed animals. Oops, I did it a little differently there than I wanted to. Let me go ahead and fix that. Go ahead and yarn over. Got 3 loops on the hook now. Let's go ahead and pinch these 2 bottom loops here. We're going to pull them right over the hook. Alright, we're going right into the next stitch. Right here. Hook's going in. We got 2 loops on our hook now. Let's go ahead and yarn over. Now we're just gonna, oh, I went and just pulled that straight through. I went so far ahead of you guys. That's not what we do. I mean, this is what you're supposed to do, but it's not what we were doing in this tutorial. What I did was like a proper single crochet, but that's a little hard for you guys right now. So we're gonna just stick that back in my loop where it was. I had to frog it just a couple stitches. I'm gonna go right back into the hook. I got the yarn on my hook now. That's my long piece of yarn, by the way. I'm pulling it through, and now I have 2 loops on the hook. Wrap your yarn around the hook. Grab and pinch your 2 loops. Pull it over the hook. And that completes another single crochet. Good job. And then we're going to go in. Oh, almost 2 loops. Wrap it over. Pinch your 2 loops. Drag them up and over your hook. Once again, I know how unorthodox this is. You're supposed to pull the hook, but as a very beginner crocheter, not a lot of us know how to do that. So I do this method to spare us from having to learn how to pull on the hook right away and get frustrated and give up. Anyway, let's go straight into the chain hook. Chain stitch. Wrap the yarn over a hook. Pinch your 2 loops. And we're going to go ahead and go right over the hook. Yeah, when I was first learning to crochet, I did not know how to use the hook in order to pull the yarn towards me. So this was my compensation, and maybe it's yours too. Going into the final chain, we're going to yarn over. We're going to pinch these last 2 loops. It's kind of a little tight squeeze there. Okay. And we got it over. So, and there's our single crochet. It's a bit loose, but hey, we're learning, ain't we? Now let's take it to the next level with our half double crochets. Alright, we're going to first start by finding the third chain. You're going to count back from the hook. 1, 2, 3. Wrap your yarn around the hook. And right where my thumb is, that is where we're going in. And here we go. We're going into the third chain. Stick your hook right in there. Now you should have what appears to be 3 loops on your hook. Although the first one doesn't technically count as a loop, let's just call it that for visual purposes. Wrap your yarn around the hook. And now you're just going to pinch all 3 loops. And all at once, you're going to pull them right over your hook. Just like so. And now you should be left with 1 loop on your hook. And now we're going to do this again, going into the very next loop where I'm pointing here. Wrap the yarn around your hook once. And while you're holding those 2 loops in place on the hook, this is very important. Hold them in place while you stick your hook in the chain. Once again, it has an appearance of 3 loops on your hook. Wrap the yarn around your hook. And once again, you're going to pinch the 3 loops that are on your hook. Pinch and drag them up and pull them over the top of your hook. Tighten it up a little bit there. And now we're going to repeat the same process for the very next chain. If you're still a bit confused, please feel free to rewind and listen to the instructions again. And meanwhile, I will carry on crocheting slowly and quietly. Legit, believe me when I tell you this is exactly how I spent the first few months learning how to crochet until I finally figured out the proper method. Which is exactly why this is perfect for me to teach to beginners. Praise the Lord.
say uversion rest. Stuck. There we
And now we are moving on to the very first stitch I ever learned how to crochet with. So unlike last time, instead of counting back 3 chains from the hook, we're now going to be counting back 4 chains. Wrap your yarn around your hook. Eek, I got a little off camera there, excuse me. We are inserting our hook into the 4th chain. So like the half double crochet, it's going to have the appearance of 3 loops on the hook. Of course, that first loop towards the top does not actually count as a loop, but we are saying so for appearance's sake. Remember, we are novices here, so we don't have to be politically correct. Just like so. Now this time, instead of all 3, I want you to just grab these first 2 loops down here. You're going to pinch, and then you're going to drag and pull it right over your hook. Just like so. You've now got these 2 loops left on your hook. Wrap your yarn around the hook. Grab the remaining 2 loops, pinch and drag, and we're going over the hook. And this completes your first double crochet. Now we're ready to start again. So we're going to wrap our yarn over and get ready to go into the very next chain. Make sure you're holding your loops nice and firm on your hook. Insert your hook into the chain. That has an appearance of 3 loops on your hook. Wrap the yarn around once more. And once again, if you're not understanding this, please feel free to rewind as many times as you need or slow down. Grab the 2 loops on your hook, those first 2 there, pinch and drag, and move them over your hook. You should now have 2 loops remaining. Wrap your yarn over your hook. Pinch and drag the remaining 2 loops and pull them over your hook. Wrap your yarn around again. Hold on tight. Place your hook in the next chain. Now we've got our 3 loops back. Wrap your yarn over. Pinch and pull the first 2 loops and wrap them over your hook. Wrap your yarn over once again. Pinch and pull the remaining 2 loops. Repeat the steps for the remaining rounds, rewinding and slowing down as needed. I know it can be a little hard, it can be a little long, and it can be a little frustrating. But trust me when I say you got this, babe. God bless you. And of course, remember to take your time. Enjoy the process. So for our next stitch, we're going to up the stakes a little. This is the triple crochet. And this time we are not counting down 1, not 2, not 3 or 4, but we are going into the 5th chain. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excuse me while I get in the correct camera position here. Eek. Let's start by yarning over. That means we're going to put the yarn right over our hook to begin. Now yarn over the hook once more. You should now have 3 loops on your hook. Now remember, we're counting down 4 chains, and then we're going into the 5th chain. That's 4 chains, and then you're going into the 5th chain. I'm going to give that yarn a good tug, make sure it's nice and secure. We're putting the hook into the 5th chain, directly where my thumb is. It should now look like you have 4 loops on your hook. And if you see a little bit of chains hanging down underneath your hook, that's normal. that little dongle there. Wrap the yarn over your hook. Take the first 2 loops and pinch them, and then you're going to slide them up and over your hook. Just like that. You now have 3 loops on your hook. Wrap the yarn over your hook. Take these 2 loops, pinch them, drag them up and over your hook. You should now have 2 loops left on your hook. Yarn over once more. That is, put the yarn over your hook once more as shown. Pinch the last 2 loops, drag them up and over your hook. And that seems like a whole lot of steps at first for just 1 triple crochet stitch, if I may say so myself. But believe me when I say that once you really get the hang of this, it really won't seem so long to make a simple triple crochet stitch. And yes, I use the word simple. I know it's not simple for a beginner, but it eventually becomes simple once you get enough practice. Anyway, now we're going to be going into the next stitch. Right here where my thumb is. Wrap the yarn around your hook once, wrap it around your hook twice. You should have 3 loops on your hook. And now we're going in. It should now appear that you have 4 loops on your hook. Wrap the yarn over your hook once. Pinch these two loops right here in the middle where my fingers are, and you're going to drag them up and pull them over your hook. That one was a little bit loose and sloppy there, excuse me. You should now have 3 loops on your hook. I'm going to go ahead and give it another good tug. Wrap the yarn over your hook once more. Grab the 2 middle loops as shown here and pinch them with your fingers. Pull them up. And loop them over your hook. You should now have 2 loops remaining on your hook. Wrap the yarn over your hook again. Take the remaining 2 loops, pinch them, and pull them up and over your hook. And this will complete your triple crochet stitch. Once again, we're starting a new stitch, so we're going to wrap the yarn around our hook twice. And we're going to put our hook into the next chain. You should now have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over. Grab the 2 hook loop. Grab and pinch the 2 middle loops. Drag them up and over your hook. You should now have 3 loops remaining on your hook. Wrap the yarn over your hook again. Pinch the 2 loops where my fingers are. Drag and pull it up and over your hook. Wrap the yarn around your hook one more time. Pinch the remaining 2 loops, drag them up and over your hook. Okay, so we're going in for the next chain. Let's go ahead and wrap our yarn around the hook twice. It should appear like you have 3 loops on your hook. Now we're going into the next chain. And I'm just going to go ahead and grab that yarn. I didn't even go ahead and loop over, I just simply grabbed it as by habit. But you may loop it over if that's more comfortable for you. You should have 4 loops on your hook. Go ahead and wrap the yarn around your hook. Once again, we're going to grab these 2 loops here in the middle, and we're just going to pull them up and over the hook. You should now have 3 loops on your hook. I'm kind of wagging my finger at myself because I almost forgot to wrap the yarn around the hook to begin with. Now let's go ahead and just wrap that like we're supposed to, and then pull the 2 loops over the hook. You should now have 2 loops remaining on your hook. Wrap the yarn over once more. And pull up your remaining 2 loops to complete the stitch. To save time, I went ahead and completed the rest of the chains. If you're still lost, feel free to go back or rewind or slow down as many times and as much as you have need in order to complete this complicated beginner stitch. And I wish you all the best. God bless you, and thank you for sticking with me so far. I hope this has been helpful to you.